Hi guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be showing you how to crochet this cute little pumpkin. For this project you'll need two different sized hooks. I have a 2.5 millimeter hook and a 2.0 millimeter hook. For this project you're going to need some yarn. I'm using size 4 orange yarn, so this is worsted weight or aran weight. You're going to need some orange, some brown, and some white. I like to use acrylic for this project because it's nice and soft, but you're more than welcome to use any other kind of blend. Lastly, we're going to need some green DK weight yarn. So this is size 3 yarn. I like to use this for the little tendril because it makes it nice and small and makes that tendril nice and tight. You're also going to need some safety eyes. So here I'm using 6 millimeter safety eyes, and you'll need their backings. You're also going to need some black crochet thread, and this is a size 3 crochet thread. You can also use embroidery thread or just another black yarn. Some other extras we're going to need are the tapestry needle and a stitch marker. We're also going to need a pair of scissors just to cut off our yarn, and some stuffing. So to start, we're going to take our orange yarn and our 2.5 millimeter hook. We're going to make a magic circle of 6 stitches. Now that we have our 6 stitches, we can tighten up this thread, and now we can start working in the round. We can take our stitch marker and put it on our last stitch. For our first round, we're going to increase in every single stitch. Now I am using the yarn under, yarn over method of single crochet. I find that this keeps my stitches a little bit tighter, and it also makes like a more pleasing boxy stitch. But you're more than welcome to use the traditional yarn over for your single crochet. Your project might just turn out a little bit bigger than mine. Now that we've finished this row, because we've increased in every single stitch, we now have 12 stitches. For the next row, we're going to single crochet and then increase all the way around. This will give us 18 stitches. For the next row, we're going to be single crocheting 2 and increasing 1 all the way around. This will give us 24 stitches. We've finished up our increase rows. We should have 24 stitches all the way around our piece now. We're gonna just do straight single crochets all the way around for 6 rounds. So I'm just gonna crochet along all the way around for 6 rows. I'll meet you back at the end. Okay, now we're at the end of our 6 single crochet rows. We can start putting in our details. So I like to go to the front of my work because this is where I've designated my back of the work to be. So I have some even straight stitches to work with. So I'm going to take my safety eyes, which are those 6 millimeter safety eyes, and we're going to put them in between these 2 rows here. So I'm going to put one safety eye there. The other safety eye I'm going to put 5 holes away. So then I'll have 4 holes in between. Next, we're going to take our backings. And we're going to slide our backings onto the safety eye. So now we can take a little bit of that white yarn and trim a piece off. Then we're going to take our tapestry needle. I like to use a very sharp tapestry needle, something that's very small, so I can get into my stitches and behind the backings a little bit better. So you want to make sure that you're going behind the backing and kind of going near the top of the safety eye. So pull through. And then we're going to want to go on the bottom of the safety eye and pull through. Now we might have to kind of coax it into its place here. We don't want to pull too tight or else the yarn will just disappear and you won't be able to see it. But just kind of tight enough that it'll pull itself to the right spot. And then we're going to want to go right over to the other safety eye and insert our needle into the top of the eye. And around to the bottom of the eye. Again, kind of coax it into place with your finger and pull just tight enough that it sits into place. Now you can knot this and secure those tails into place if you want, but I find the stuffing just holds it into place itself. The safety eyes kind of hold it, and then once we stuff it, the stuffing holds it into place. We're going to pick up our crochet hook again, and we're going to continue on crocheting. We'll put our stitch marker back in here. And now we're going to start our decreases. So our decreases is going to be pretty much the same way as we did our increases. To decrease, we're going to start by single crocheting 2 and then do an invisible decrease. To do an invisible decrease, we're going to pick up the front loop only of both of the next stitches. We'll yarn over, or yarn under in my case. Yarn over and through. So this makes the stitch almost invisible for the decrease. It'll make sure you'll have less holes in your work. So we're gonna do single crochet 2 and decrease all the way around. So now we should have 18 stitches. For the next row, we're going to single crochet decrease all the way around. So next, we're going to take our stuffing and we're going to begin stuffing our piece. Make sure that you're stuffing your piece with stuffing above the safety eye and below the safety eye. If you just straight stuff it, it might start to tilt your eyes and make him look up or down. Now that our pumpkin is stuffed, we can close up this hole. So we're just gonna decrease all the way around. Just make sure that you're invisible decreasing, not single crocheting 2 together. So you should be doing 6 invisible decreases to finish the round. Now that we finished our decreasing, we can cut our yarn. Because we're going to use this yarn as the detail work to, make those little lines all the way around, we're going to give ourselves quite a bit of yarn for sewing in. And now we can start closing up this hole. So we'll take our tapestry needle again. We're going to take the front loop only of each of the remaining stitches and sew through them. So then we'll have something like this. Now to completely close up this hole, all you have to do is pull this yarn and it'll cinch it together. Now we can start finishing off our piece. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go down through that hole that we just closed up and out through the magic circle hole. Sometimes this is a little bit tricky to find. We'll go out through our magic circle hole. Next, we're going to want to take this yarn and go up the center of the face. Go back down through that finishing hole that we made and out through the magic circle hole. Center the yarn between the eyes and pull it nice and tight. You'll start to create these little bulges. Take the yarn, go up the back, down through the finishing hole, and up through our magic circle hole. We're going to now start to cut our pumpkin into 6 pieces. So we've got 2 pieces here now. 1, 2. And we're going to want to cut it into 6. And now we're going to start working on the other side. Now this is our last cut that we're making into our pumpkin. So we'll go down from the finishing hole, out through the magic circle that we made at the beginning. Make sure you hold your piece nice and tight. And then we're going to create a knot right here. So I like to go under one of the loops that I've made and finish off by making a knot. Pull nice and tight. Now we just have to hide our yarn through our piece. And now we can trim our tail. Now while we're here, we can add our little mouth. So I'm just taking a little piece of the crochet thread that I have. You can use the embroidery thread as well if you want. So to make the mouth, I go in through the side of the piece, out through the middle hole on the left side of the face, and then I go in through the middle hole on the right side of the face. You can pull that a little bit tighter to make the mouth a little bit smaller, and then you can trim your yarn tails. To hide these little black threads that are poking out, just give your little pumpkin a squish and it should tuck it right into the piece. Now, we can move this little guy and put him aside. Next, let's take our brown yarn. To make the stem, we're gonna need our 2.5mm hook. Again, we're gonna start off by making a magic circle, and we're gonna put 5 stitches into our magic circle. We'll cinch together our magic circle, and then we're gonna do 2 rows of single crochet. So we'll do 5 single crochets. And now your piece is gonna naturally curl inwards again. So we wanna make sure that we're inverting to make sure that the right side is on the outside. And then we're gonna do 1 more row of single crochet. So we'll end up with something like this. You can hide your little yarn tail into your piece and it'll act kind of like stuffing. So now we're gonna sew our stem onto our pumpkin. And to do this, we're just gonna try and pick up the little slices that we've created with our orange yarn. Now, because there are 5 stitches and 6 slices, you might have to move your stitch over a little bit and pick up something in the middle of those 2 slices. When you come to your last stitch, just make a knot with your yarn tail. This should hold it in place, and make sure you're pulling it nice and tight. Then hide your yarn through your piece again and pull that tight. Take your scissors and snip off the excess tail, and now we've attached our stem. For our last step, we're going to be taking our green DK size yarn, so our size 3 yarn, and we're going to take our smaller hook. So this is the 2.0mm hook. So to make the tendril, we're going to start off with a slip knot. And we've left a little bit of a longer tail here so we can sew in and hide that yarn tail later. From here, we're gonna make 11 chains. So now we're gonna start working down our chain. Being careful not to twist your chain, single crochet 2 into every chain. You'll end up with something like this. We're gonna leave a long tail just enough for sewing in. Now we're just gonna sew this little tendril into our pumpkin. Just position your tendril anywhere you want around the pumpkin, wherever you feel that you like it. And we're gonna take our starting thread first and our tapestry needle. We're just gonna anchor it with this one. This one we're not going to be tying in. We're just gonna be anchoring it because we're gonna be knotting the other tail, and that's going to make sure that it doesn't fall out. Then we're gonna take our other yarn tail. And we're gonna go in through the pumpkin and out just beside it. And then we're gonna pick up a little bit of our green stitch here, our chain stitch, and we're gonna make a knot. And this is gonna secure both sides of our piece. We're gonna pull it nice and tight. Hide your yarn through the piece. Then we can take our scissors and snip both sides, and then we can squish our pumpkin to hide the tail. And there we go. We've finished our little pumpkin. Let me know if you use this pattern to make your own pumpkins. I'd love to see yours. If you have any questions, I'm always available. You can reach me through Instagram or Twitter, and I'd be happy to help you through. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next one.